to my channel, Love Storyteller Tarot. My name's Jeanette, and this is your full moon in Libra reading, March 31st, 2018. And this is the second lot of, I think they call them blue moons, because we had 2 moons in 1 month, which was January, and 2 moons now, full moons in March. So it's like the saying, isn't it? Once in a blue moon. So it's more rare that this happens. I think, I don't quote me, but I think it's something like 3 years. I'm not too sure. So we had the Pisces new moon. Go back just quickly to the full moon in Virgo. I was amazed that I heard from somebody and that they said that they, you know, their digestive system had, was playing up and everything, and that was sort of yesterday. I'm doing this on the 9th of March, and no coincidence, Virgo does govern the digestive tract and that, so that was really interesting. You know, astrology and the energies, it's not mumbo jumbo. It is, you know, proven that these energies work. So we do have Jupiter retrograde. I believe that started yesterday, 8/9, and I think that's going for a full 4 months to the July 10th, I believe. So yeah, so I thought I'd quickly just look at that, because that's going to be part of this. And then we've also got the Mercury retrograde, which I mentioned in the new moon one, which is in Aries, I believe. So yeah, all those energies are going to be coming into play for this. But this, you know, Jupiter in Scorpio, Jupiter's all about, it has an affinity with the Wheel of Fortune, and it's known for, you know, bringing gifts, that sort of thing. It's all about expansion and growth, but you know, it's deeper than that. It's to do with your soul and your soul contracts and that, and it's very much around the wheel, so it can come under karma, but you know, that's cause and effect. It's the decisions you make, and then, you know, the choices that you make, and then the consequences of those choices, really. But yeah, it's about good fortune. Of course, there's unfortunate circumstances, but sometimes that's to do with the environment, or to do with collective thinking, or, you know, so some things you just don't have power over, but very much about synchronicity and chance meetings when we're looking at relationships, rather than saying love relationships, so, you know, very much around this time, going retrograde is more about reflection, looking at, so these planets will make you slow down and look at something, because you're revisiting something. So, but yeah, it's all about expansion and growth, and it is in Scorpio, which comes under the Death card, has an affinity with the Death card. So this will sort of be the area that it will be. So it could be that all your hard work that you've done on yourself, you know, give yourself a break and congratulate yourself on how much inner work you've been doing and how much change you have been creating for yourself. And it could be that Jupiter brings those rewards, you know, because this is very much about breaking negative thought patterns where, you know, your relationships are concerned, and then you'll be given another test after a certain while. You know, we do have Saturn in Capricorn. That's all about taking responsibility for your life, taking responsibility for your choices, and accepting that. But both cards, basically, one word, change. It's all about change. So over the next 4 months, there's going to be very deep change around relationships, around, you know, how you see them, and reflecting upon, okay, I you know, reflecting on, oh, okay, I've been here before. what do I need to do different this time so that I don't get back to this place again, you know, going round in circles, going around in that hamster wheel, and not really getting anywhere, because it's the belief systems, you know, they're so deeply rooted, and that's why subconsciously sometimes you can sabotage and it'll all come out and whatever, and then you suddenly think, oh my god, there you go, how come I'm back to there? And you've got to retract your steps and think about the other relationships that you've been in, and think about, okay, what would I have done different there, or how would I have said something different there? So it's about retracking and reevaluating. But you know, they're there for a reason, and very good reasons, usually to get people to slow down and take a look, because people are so busy. It's about slowing down and reflecting, but it will be about change and bringing deep change and wanting that for yourself. And it will be, you know, the chapters are going to be coming to an end, and maybe even to a complete book of your life coming to an end, and you know, and you're starting a new chapter in a new book, in a new life, in a new way. You're going to be transformed, because it's all about transitioning and transformation, and letting go of your past and past ways of you know, how you've handled situations. But I might do a video on that. I'm not too sure yet, but that's your Jupiter and Scorpio retrograde. But let's get to the full moon, because you've got your full moon that was in Virgo, and now the full moon in the same month in Libra. And Libra's all around justice, so maybe something, and you've got the, you know, the Pisces, the compassionate energy in between, because it's archetypal energies. It's all energies that you're working with, and you can either choose to work with them, or, you know, because this card is about consequences sometimes of what you haven't done, you know, and you can choose to work with them or not bother working on them at all. So, but the Justice card is all about balance, you know, hence why we've got the scales in the picture. And Libra, 7th house, relationships. It's going to be around this full moon all about balancing your relationships. And you know, she does carry the sword of truth, and that's like saying, you know, about justice. Well, your perspective, because it's the mind, your perspective, how you see something. Yes, it's your choice, but questions you may need to answer. You know, if you're out of balance, this full moon is about something coming to completion. Does something need to end? You know, that cycle, does something need to end to bring something back into balance in your relationships? And, you know, be very aware of your perspective. Sometimes you have to step into somebody else's shoes to understand them and understand where they're coming from. And it doesn't mean to say you need to be with that person or have them in your life, but you know, it's about, back to Pisces new moon, about compassion for oneself and others. Or maybe it's time for somebody to put, you know, their feet in your shoes and see where you're coming from and how you're feeling. But it is about being objective. This is very much a card of taking the emotions out of it, because you've got your emotional energies in the new moon one. Taking your emotional energies out of it and coming from a matter of fact, like objectivity, seeing the facts of something, and discerning what's right for you there. And it's very much about, it can govern like the legal attributes of things, courts or legal battles, so that could come under divorce, you know, debt, things like that really, or passports. But at the end of the day, there is like a cover here, and there's the yellow at the back, and this is like sunshine, brightness, the color yellow. It's confidence, but you're not being shown everything. We're not always shown everything. Even when you have a reading done, you're not shown everything, because they're not going to take your power away from you. You're needing to discern for yourself. You need to learn something for yourself, and so yeah, so not everything's going to be shown you. But around this full moon, then there's going to be something that either needs to be balanced out by your thinking. Your thinking needs to come into balance, or there's going to be a situation that needs to be balanced around fairness. It's also around judgment, so be careful not to be judging yourself or being critical of yourself around this time. You know, the Libra energy is all about fairness. It's the air sign, and very loving, warm energy, and wanting nice things, and wanting good things for people. So yeah, around this time there's going to be looking at where you need to balance maybe your love lives and what you need to balance in that. For example, you know, if you're working too much and not paying enough attention to your relationship, then you'd need to bring that into balance. But let's have a look, see what the tarot cards want to say. Warm welcome to my new subscribers, and thank you for your emails. Those that have readings, you know, I really do appreciate the feedback, and especially my, you know, the loyal ones that come back time and time again over the year. So yeah, I really do appreciate that. Let's have a look what the tarot cards want to say. And for my readings, you know, you do have to wait a couple of days, but I do, you know, I don't take them lightly. I do prepare an hour before I do the reading, and then the reading itself, because mine's more, I come from a soul contract level, so it's quite deep stuff, and looking at lessons and things like that. So yeah, you do need to wait, give it a couple of days. I don't do them straight off, because I only work 3 days on this, and my sister does do all the technical side of it, so it's not quick and fast. Okay, what does the universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it, wants to tell us around this time? Lots in reverse, but then we do have that Mercury retrograde that's going to be coming into play around this time. The Seven of Cups, maybe something about a choice, because it's very much about the choice card, because this is about maybe having to make a decision, and we've got that Jupiter retrograde going on as well. So, you know, it is going to be quite some deep stuff going on, but all for the good, you know. It's for change, good change. But yeah, maybe about a decision that you made that didn't turn out the way you thought it would, because right, you know, there are choices there. There's opportunities there, and it's like a choice. Which one do I take? Whether that's a choice between people that you know, or if you're dating, because it's the emotional card, whether to stay, whether to go, you know, and he does sort of warn you in this set anyway. Be cautious. Things may not appear as they seem. And in reverse, it's like saying, oh, maybe because of judgment, you're judging the decisions you've made, and maybe thinking you've made a bad decision around this full moon, and it's around the Temperance card, which is all about you know, it's a major arcana. It comes under that Sagittarian energy, that fire energy, and it's alchemical process of blending the elements, and you know, it's turning your lead into your gold, or your fate, you know, it's turning your fate into destiny, because this if it's reversed, it can mean you're heading back down a path of fate, you're repeating old patterns, you know. But upright, it's more fortunate, and good things are coming. But this is very much about getting into the flow. It's all about balance again. It's very much about balance again. It's about moderation and diplomatic. It's very much about being diplomatic and you know, speaking diplomatically in your relationships. But it is an alchemical process. It's something where you transform, you know, you blend something, and then you make something else out of it. And then, you know, you get the like the rainbow, you need the water and the light to create the sun, to create the rainbow, to create the colours. And no coincidence that, you know, these colours are the colours of your chakra centres that, you know, need to be balanced. So it's all around balancing, whether that's as simple as or not so simple as balancing your chakras, because we've got that rainbow there, and then, you know, things will come more into alignment for you. But this is because, you know, she has one toe in the water, which is about the emotions, but then she has her other foot firmly on terra firma, you know, firmly on the ground. And you know, I think she's the goddess Iris. You've got your iris flowers here, but feathers that are as wings that are very, very light. But you know, on a practical level, it is about being diplomatic. But that's in reverse. So, and that it can come under addictions in reverse. So looking at addictions, because it's about moderating, maybe a choice, because people can be addicted to love, an emotional choice anyway, and regretting something, and it looks like it's around this King of Wands. Now it can be, we don't go to gender in general readings, you know, but it's the energy of the King of Wands, which is you know, a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, you know, moon rising, whatever. But he's very happy in this card. It's very red colours, you know, bright red, that fire, that passion, that creative energy that you need. But it is around this guy, I'll say guy, and he's a visionary. He's somebody that sees something in his mind's eye, and then, you know, because he's very much a businessman, self-employed, usually has his own business, or certainly the CEO of a company, running a company, you know, that sort of thing, because they have great vision. But yeah, very warm, that fire energy, very warm, very protective. Like I said, comes under the Sag, Aries, Leo. Just trying to tune into him and what he's thinking. Part of him, like, there's a little smirk on his face. There's what are they trying to say? Part of it is like, ha ha, a little bit of smirk on their face. He's not saying, like, the energy's not saying that I'm better than somebody else, but it's like, is it like one-upmanship? I don't know, but we'll go a bit deeper as to what he's thinking. But that's why these two cards are in reverse on an emotional level, they're about a choice, but he is the king there. Or an opportunity missed, because it is about opportunities missed, because there wasn't diplomatic, it wasn't being diplomatic about something, not being able to flow in the relationship, allowing addictions maybe, which codependency can come under. And I think that new moon in Pisces, the codependency card did come up, but there's something about finding balance around this situation. But let's have a look, see what else they're saying. Reverse card again, because that I'm sure was in the other reading, the Pisces one. And this is about you know, somebody coming forward and well, like being welcoming and saying hi, and you know, wanting to speak and connect, and has got news, got a message, but in reverse, no. So this is in the past, maybe, showing the past, a missed opportunity, about a choice, because they couldn't go with the flow, or somebody couldn't go with the flow, because she's very much about going with the flow, upright and being mature. And again, this is Sagittarius, and we're next to the King of Wands, so maybe it's saying he's coming up as a Sagittarian, because they're like, you can't pin them down. They're free spirits, and you know that they've got travel in their blood, as in on the move. They're on the move, whether even if it's in their own home, they're on the move. You know, to sit down and to watch a film or whatever is hard for them. They're like, right, done that, on to the next thing. You know, so yeah, or always doing something, or wanting to do something, getting itchy feet, finds it hard to find the balance in their relationship. And then we've got the Six of Swords, which is at the heart of the matter, which is all about moving away from troubled waters, moving away from your past, the turbulence of your past, is what's at the heart of the matter. But we've got 3 cards in reverse. We've actually got 4. And so remember, there was this one, maybe, I can't remember now, but the 5 of Wands, there is some form of competition and struggle, power struggle, but it's showing up with this. That's why I'm saying something about a smirk on his face. This card is very much about pettiness and quarrels, competition, but there's a smirk on his face about something, about winning or thinking he's won something. Again, all around balance. This is very much about change, and these 2 cards that's going to be coming into the mix is definitely about change, but about fairness, because it's about seeing what is fair to one, you know, might not be fair to another one. So it is about fairness around this. You know, the 2 of Pentacles is about balance again. It's about balance in the books. I'm hearing balance in the books. You know, that's the affinity sign. So it's the practical, because it's the coins. Balance in the books. So maybe people that are self-employed, needing to balance the books. It's maybe having to, sometimes this is about like a second job, having to do 2 jobs, or doing something on the side to be bringing in extra income. It can govern that. It can be about, you know, getting yourself out of debt, and then hence why you need to, because this can come under debt, and clearing debt and things like that. So but yeah, he is face forward. He's not, that turbulence, that sea is behind him, because so it feels like something that would be like something new, or wanting to make that new fresh start. Then you'd need to bring, you know, this into the play. And we've got another one in reverse, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mercury is having its say in this reading, I think. And is it in Aries? I needed to check that really, but I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, which then would be the Emperor, wouldn't it? It'd be that, the father figure, or like authority figure, which, you know, he can come under very much. I don't know if something's backfiring on him, or will be in the future, maybe. But yeah, four of Wands in reverse. You know, this is happy times. This is like getting what you want. It's completion, but in reverse it's not. So it could be delays. It could be delays because of the Mercury retrograde, having them in reverse. You know, there could be delays around this situation, because this is all about, this can be like a marriage or an engagement. It's a celebration, and you know, and then you'd be like leaving one life behind of you know, move your relationships up to a next level, being engaged and then obviously getting married. That would end that cycle. And that, so, or a home, very much under a home, this card can come under, but it's about completion or completing something, and it is in reverse. So there's either a delay or a hold on that. Yeah, because of I was just saying about a marriage, that together very much is a marriage, or what do you call them now, where you put the rope over the hands, and you know, a joining together. So that's very much about you know, taking your relationship to another level, an engagement, promise of marriage, because they're promising their hearts to each other, they're offering their cups to each other. And you've got sparkling water that's calm in the background. It's not like this, you know, where there's turbulence and fiery. But yeah, so there might be a delay on that, or a delay on moving in together, because it's about a home for those of you that are coupled up. Let's see what's going on underneath. But yeah, I don't know if there's something that's backfired on him, because he's too competitive. He's not being fair, and not putting himself in somebody else's shoes, or the other person's shoes. There has been competition there, or will be competition there, because it can be the future, to do with him, and to do with this relationship. So because this enthusiastic or happy or positive message, let's say, either will be delayed, or there's a hold on it, because of there's needing to be diplomacy in this situation, and either he's deciding to move away from it, because this is travel also. And I did say Sagittarian, the sign, you know, not being stereotyping, is around travel, and that can be traveling, or wanting to, at least, because it's about in the mind. See what's going. Oh, and then we've got our Justice card comes up underneath. So very much we've got a double whammy with this. You know, on this one, the back is purple, very much spiritual, and obviously a more modern card, but very spiritual. So it doesn't mean to say, like I said earlier, that you're being shown everything, but it is upright. So it is about fairness and justice in this situation that involves this King of Wands. But let's have a look, see what these cards want to say. There's something around a home or an engagement, or wanting that, because of the Two of Cups here, but that's the outcome, this relationship. But let's have a look, please, Spirit. Oh, well, that's the masculine energy has come up on here, and this is about opportunity, but like I said, that can also be about a missed opportunity. So whether it's because of, like, saying, oh, well, I want it this way, and if it's not that way, then it's not fair, and then somebody else is saying, well, I see it this way, and, you know, it's about being flexible, isn't it? But it's something around the masculine and an emotional choice, and it's either a missed opportunity or, yeah, made a wrong decision maybe in the past, and that's to do with him, that's prevented him from returning or giving this message. But things are going to be balanced again, because the Justice card is here. So whether that's in a legal way, or whether that's a karmic way, and the universe is going to balance it. Let's see what's at the heart of the matter. Well, there's definitely healing, and for some, now this can be, like I said earlier, because I said about your mind, your thoughts, a belief, a deep-rooted belief, and the swords come up around the mind. So it can be the healing of the mind, and you're moving away more from negative thoughts, and you're becoming clearer, and, you know, you're catching things. Or this could be catching negative thoughts, that is, or this could be, because it's very much about something flowering, something blossoming. And it could be that you're, you know, for some of you, you might need to travel, you might need to go on a journey to do with your profession, because it can come up very much about a profession. That could be a professional, somebody professional in the situation. For him, that could be for him, the masculine. Yeah, it's very much around a relationship, but the heart's not there. So it's about a relationship and a choice. Like I said earlier, and in reverse, it can be that there isn't balance, because this is very much about balance, but this is more about going with the flow, like I said earlier. But if there's power struggles and competition, then it's impossible to go with the flow of the relationship. And that's what it's saying there. But it is around this, about being diplomatic, not being like harsh with your words, or so that the power struggle doesn't come in there. But this very much about a relationship, but the healing of it, and that could be a business partner. But yeah, see, now what did I say? I said earlier, there's a smirk on his face. There's something that he's thinking he's got won over somebody. He's won, that sort of thing. Hence the Justice card. But we'll get some more cards on him for clarity. But because this is about someone being cunning, being crafty, or it can be very much like the Seven of Swords, or being mysterious, you know, could be, you know, acting in a mysterious way. Now, that doesn't always, you know, you can be mysterious when you're trying to do a surprise birthday party for your loved one. So it doesn't always have to be in a negative, but if you've been wounded from your past and your thoughts, because this is going to be in play, you could start thinking the negativity again, and then ooh, way up, you start going back down the path of fate again, and then you get back to where you were again, and it's like, oh, what did I do wrong? Well, you're letting old thought patterns get in the way, because the sword is very much in play in this reading, and we do have the Six of Swords at the heart of the matter. But yeah, there's something around him being cunning, being crafty. Very much the fox is the magician in the tarot, animal tarot card. So, and is able to disappear, like, or shapeshift, or but it's all to do with survival. And we do have the Wands, which is about career or projects, and that's in reverse. So it's about finding a solution. But yeah, the fox is on him. He's being cunning or crafty about something, or will be. You know, that can even be down to a relationship, and thinking, oh, I know how to win them back, and you know, knowing your Achilles heel, and thinking, oh yeah, I know how to win them back. I know their Achilles heel, and then they play on it. But oh, what am I doing? That's because I was talking. I didn't need to do that, but never mind. Let's go with it. So yeah, there needs to be, because there's been some sort of argument. Now, you know, pages are children as well. They come into children as well, or the wounded inner child. It can show up like this as well. It'll be different for everybody. You know, you take what you take and you read it intuitively for your situation. But yeah, there's been an argument, tension, either between a child and the father, or you know, or him wanting to, maybe he thinks, oh, I made a mistake, I want to come back with enthusiasm and say something positive, and there's been some form of tension or argument in the past, or this might be coming in, or this might have happened from the last full moon, because this is completion of that cycle. But yeah, there's something that needs to die a death, and because this is about patience, this card, and has your patience run out? Only you know, whether it's a situation in love or work, whether, you know, you've had enough really, or will have enough. But yeah, it's about, but it's stagnation as well. It could be that because we had the Virgo full moon, which is, I think it governs, you know, the digestive system. And I'm not sure with this Libra one, was it, I can't remember. But, you know, they do govern ailments that you might get and everything. So it could be that somebody's not feeling great, somebody's under the weather, because of this situation around this time, especially with those there. But there's, you know, there's something around change, like I said earlier, that you're not, because this is the unconscious, that you're not being shown everything. And again, it's the book of patience. So you need to be patient, because that's patience as well. Because there might be stagnation, there might, you know, like stagnant energy, in other words, because of the Mercury retrograde, maybe having to slow down and rethink things. But it could be that needing to be patient for this to balance out, and if that's around finances, you know, any tribunals to do with jobs, anything like that, maybe it'll be happen around this time. But yeah, it's about being this, because this is the unknown. And I was saying about, you know, a chapter of coming to a close, and writing a new one, and maybe the whole book might come to a close. In other words, that lifetime that is ended, you know, it's about a new life for you, and you're going to be transformed. You're not going to, maybe at the end of those 4 months, then after this Jupiter in Scorpio, maybe at the end of that 4 months, you know, you're going to be a totally different person. But there's something you don't know about to do with this argument. You don't know about it, but it is sort of like a teenager there as well. But yeah, because that's about being patient. The book is closed. Something about not knowing something. But yeah, so this is about a contract or an invitation. And that's in reverse, completion. Something's not being completed. So that could even be, you know, if there is a home, if it's around a home, and the home that you really want, maybe you was thinking completion was coming, what do they call it? But maybe there's delays on that. Maybe somebody's put a higher offer in or something. I don't know if it could be for some. Just depends who watches it. But yeah, because that can come, it's news or a contract of some sort about change, because that could be about negotiating a loan, you know, to do with a mortgage maybe, but still you'd need to be patient. And around this situation, maybe you think you've lost it, but you haven't really. Yeah, need to be really watching your thoughts, like I said earlier, around relationships, or the idea of relationships, and how you've seen them maybe in the past, and looking at them differently. But that's quite all of those down there to do with this King of Wands. A little bit negative there. It's to do with the home, because the home's just come up, like whatever I was saying there, because these are about thoughts and maybe a rocky path. But those two together can be mental tension and depression, you see. And I was saying that with the swords here. So maybe some of you or somebody you know has been suffering a bit with depression, you know, or as simple as being like pessimistic about the situation instead of positive. You know, it doesn't have to be as heavy as that. It would be if maybe the Nine of Swords was there. But yeah, to do with this relationship. And well, justice is going to have her say. So for some of you then, if there's a legal battle to do with the divorce, to do with the separation of the home, or staying in the home around this time, it's all about fairness, but what you might not think is fair might be fair if it goes to court. But you know, the universe brings it back into balance, maybe in another way. I don't know if that's why he's being sneaky. We'll get some cards out on him, but like I said, or it could be because it comes around legality, and that's very much about that. Maybe it's something you don't know. Maybe rejection is God's protection on this for somebody, maybe just one person, I don't know. But you know, maybe there was something not quite right about it, thinking that it was okay, because you never know sometimes. But this can also be the parents' home, having to go back to a parents after a divorce, and that you might think, oh my God, really? At my age, that sort of thing. Just trying to tune in, because there's, like I said, there's something you don't know, but it is based on spiritual, and you're not going to be shown everything. So, quite trusting, isn't it, sometimes? But, okay, let's get some cards out quickly on the King of Wands. Let's get a bit of clarity on the King of Wands. What's this to do with? Right, we've got the Hermit in reverse now. But the Hermit in reverse is somebody who is not socialising. They are withdrawn, isolated. But why would you be pleased about that? Oh, and it's around, again, we've got cards that are reversed. Yeah, all reversed. No, fine, just check him. But all these three are. So he's being cunning. He's isolated himself to do with some form of emotional commitment and happiness around the family or a family situation, to do with a High Priestess. And she's all about all-knowing, but in reverse, she's not. She's a false High Priestess. And the things come under this. So it comes under this as well, as long with the High Priest. And in reverse, she's not all-knowing and causing trouble. So I'm not too sure what that's about. But yeah, she's not being intuitive and all-knowing. So whether he's taking advice from that person, thinking she is the High Priestess and all-knowing, I'm not too sure. Let's quickly get some out on the House and the, oh gosh, they're all reversed. Well, that it's either delays, like I said, because that's about partnership and moving forward on a creative product, and that could be for the Queen of Pentacles, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, somebody very practical and down to earth. Wanted this business partnership, because that is very much about business. But watching your thoughts, like I said, something around thoughts. This is to do with, and it's to do with her truth. It's to do with her clarity, and because she has the sword of truth that's in this picture here. So something's blocking the Queen of Pentacles, and it's to do with this Two of Wands, and it's either the Mercury retrograde's in delay for a reason, and it's to do with the home. But that's about a new perspective. That's about truth. That's about seeing things clearly, and that's victory. But it's this two in reverse. So, right, let's see what the romance angels want to say. Well, let's have a quick view on this Two of Cups. Don't have time to put them all out. So somebody's not feeling hopeful about a relationship. That's why the clouds are there. It's thoughts. And the Star in reverse, it's like feeling hopeless. Yeah. Needing to go on a retreat or some time out to rest. Needing some time out to rest because of your mental thoughts and around tradition. Remember I was saying how you see a relationship, so around tradition and conforming. You're losing hope because of it, but it's your thoughts about it. Right, let's have a look. See what the romance angels want to say. Ooh la la. What would you like to say, romance angels, for this full moon in Libra, 31st of March 2018? It complements this reading. Calling in your soulmate. So, you know, you're going to have to do some work. If you're good at visualizing, he's very much a visualization. If you're good at visualization, saying your prayers, affirming, you know, the person that you want to bring in, does help you come together. But what you've got to do, someone's feeling hopeless about the situation or will be in the near future, but it's your thoughts. You've got to change your thoughts and your perception on it, on what's right or wrong or fair, you know, about a traditional relationship, and seeing it maybe a bit different. But they're saying, you know, to calling in your soulmate, and then you need to be you know, light-hearted and flirting. For those of you that are single, extend your light-hearted energy to others. You know, and the Saturn in Capricorn, you take responsibility and free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So whatever's been going on, you need to make the time and effort to visualize, sense, feel. Not a particular person, because you want to let go of the form. Remember, you want to let go of the form. You're just working with energy, and then you be flirtatious, and you see how that will free you. Being flirty, being light, and then let that free you, which will, you know, you take back control of your life then. Because some of you have been like in a prison, or you know people that have been in a self-imposed prison. If you want to pause your video and ask your question, the best they can, they will answer. Well, something's unlikely. So it could be to do with this person. So maybe somebody you might be thinking of that might be why they've answered that, because you're too focused on the form of a relationship, and hence why you're feeling hopeless, because you're focused maybe on a particular person. So maybe this Sag up here or something to do with that, but they're saying it's unlikely, but you put it towards what the question you've asked. And let's just see the angels. A few minutes, so let's just see. It's about abundance, so it's about, yeah, come from abundance, don't come from lack, because that's the thoughts, you know. Come from abundance, that you know you've already got what it is that you want. And abundance is many things. It's not just money and things like that. It's about seeing the small things and appreciating that around this time. And on a physical level, happily ever after. You know, so it's about not being caught up in that happily ever after. It's about creating your own happy ever after, and this is a promise, you know, that it will happen. It will happen. You'll get the abundance of love. And okay, let's see what some spiritual advice. What do we need to know? Chaos and conflict. So what they're saying is, it's okay to have some chaos. It's okay to have some conflict, because chaos reorders things. Like I said, justice. The universe will reorder. And retrograde means that the universe is reordering, is rebalancing things. So it's okay. You just got to learn to go with the flow with the relationship, or the potential relationship, because it is healthy to have conflict. It reorders things, it puts things back in place, is what they're saying. And let's see what the universe has your back. Cards wants to say. When I lean towards love, I am led. So maybe that's your affirmation around this time. When I lean towards love, I am led, and you'll be led in the right direction. And don't let you know, don't let how others are and maybe how they're feeling affect you and take you off your centre. And to end the reading, spiritual connection. So there's definitely a spiritual connection with this relationship. Has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So definitely soulmates. For those that you're in a relationship and you're going to have some conflict with this guy, and you're maybe going to need to work that out. You've got to be the high priestess. She's got to be upright. You know, to get things balanced. But there's definitely a spiritual connection. For those that are single, somebody's coming in, that there's a spiritual connection, and you know, and that's what's behind the curtain. Maybe something you don't know, but have we got time to read it quickly? I don't know. Everything happens for a reason, like I said before, a reason, a season, a lifetime. Know that some of the people that come into your life are there just to help teach us a lesson, and I was talking about lessons earlier, and make a real impact on our life, whether this is a love, soulmate relationship, or a relationship for growth. It is important to you in this lifetime. It will be important, and remember, you've got that Jupiter retrograde, which that is very much about. Okay, I hope that helps you and supports you. Please reach out. My website, Jeanette Appley Intuitive, or just Jeanette Appley. It'll come under Gift of the Broken Heart for your readings. And please like, share and subscribe as you'll give back to me. Wishing you lots of love. Namaste.